Celebrating 30 years of phenomenal trend forecasting, 5 times a week, Monday through Friday. Here's Gerald Celente with today's trends in the news.
Hi, this is Gerald Celente. It's Thursday, November 30th, 2017. And here are some of today's trends in the news. On the market front over there in Asia, Nikkei is up a little bit, but Hang Seng and Shanghai hanging just a little bit lower. Over there in Europe, down a little bit. Boom. Here in the States, Dow up over 300 points. Broke through that 24,000 mark. NASDAQ up. Oil up a little bit. Gold down. Hey, and how about that Bitcoin, huh? 20%, man. Woof, boom. Yep. Down 20% and back up. And it's back up now over 10,000. Hit a low in that 20% correction of around 9,021 bucks. So this thing is really volatile. But not news to you, TrendsJournal subscribers. We've nailed this thing pretty tightly on our cryptocurrency reports and more in the new TrendsJournal. That's right. And the new TrendsJournal is out today. And what a journal it is, packed with information, not only about cryptocurrencies, but we do a Globalnomic end-year report. That's right. Where's the economy going? And remember, we are the only magazine to have forecast a Trump victory back in May of 2016, and we're the only magazine that called the Trump rally first, just weeks after he was elected. So we think we have a good hit on where it's going, what's going to happen with the markets. And gold, boy, we nailed that one too, right on the money with it. We said where gold was going to go, how low and how high, and a lot more in this TrendsJournal. We look at not only the economic landmines, but also great features in here, the facts behind globalization by Oded Shankar, the world-renowned PhD, who's written a number of major books, such as Navigating Global Business. Other great stories in here about collaborative intelligence, whether or not you can buy that stuff about the healthy food trend. Is it fact or fiction? Hey, matter of fact, ready for manufactured meat. And you know, all these doomsayers out there, the world is coming to an end. Well, actually, a lot of people are making profit of doom, man. Yes, the prophets of doom and making profits from doom. And there's a big story in here on how people are profiting from it, what we see growing, what we see declining. A TrendsJournal with history before it happens. You know, they just announced that Time Magazine was bought. Time Magazine, what a joke. Last week's news tomorrow. The TrendsJournal. Tomorrow's news today. The only magazine where you read history before it happens. Again, look what's going on and what they're saying about this tax bill that drove the markets up, way up. Woof. Who's going to benefit from this tax bill? Well, the markets are. So, will the markets keep going up? Think about it. It's going to help big corporations. What are they going to do with their profits? The same thing they're doing now, investing them back into the markets. That's what drove the markets up before, and that's what's going to keep driving them up. But there are pitfalls and dangers ahead, and we outline them in the TrendsJournal. As a matter of fact, Goldman Sachs warns that stocks are at their highest valuations, you ready for this? Since 1900. So, the TrendsJournal has a lot of economic, geopolitical, watch out for the big next war ahead, what that's going to mean, how that's going to affect oil prices, how it's going to affect geopolitics in terms of investment strategies, where to invest, where not to, who's going to be the winners and the losers, and some other trends. As we talk about oil, hey, oil prices went up a little bit today. They met over there in Vienna, and OPEC and some other countries over there said, including Russia, we're going to keep this lower production level, keeping 1.8 million barrels off the supply chain. We're going to extend it through March into December. What difference will that make? We don't see a lot. We're saying oil prices where they are now are near their peak, because you're going to start seeing a lot more production coming online. And as a result of the Trump tax breaks, more corporate profits, higher interest rates coming, gold went down today. So gold's in that range again that we've been saying now for 3 years. 1,150 low. Got to go well over mid-1400s to break through. We've been right on the money with it, and right now the downside risk of gold is greater than the upside potential. And again, all those people that have been calling gloom and doom in the markets, we've been going the other way. But in this new Trends Journal, you'll see a new direction coming. And with Bitcoin. Bitcoin futures in works. Not only the CME Group, the biggest futures exchange by volume in the world, but now NASDAQ and Cantor Fitzgerald are considering launching products to trade cryptocurrencies. Again, cryptocurrencies, a trend or a fad? You know what we say. That's right. And more in the new Trends Journal. Hey, you know they're going to have a new Fed chair coming in, and Janet Yellen will be leaving. Well, Yellen warns of public debt, productivity, and inequality. In testimony to lawmakers, a bunch of political clowns, a bunch of wankers, lawmakers. How about jerk-offs? How about scumbags? How about murderers, thieves, and lowlives? Oh, be proper. Oh, that's right, I have to be proper now. Hey, yesterday they got Matt Lauer over there from NBC, showing girls apparently, allegedly, his penis and sex toys and texting them. And I've been on with Matt Lauer a couple of times. Never showed me his penis or sex toy. And today, Russell Simmons. I got a Russell Simmons story for you. I don't like this guy. An arrogant guy. We were both keynote speakers for De Beers. The big diamond company. Flew us out over there to Sun City in South Africa. I'm waiting there in the first class lounge, South African Airlines, a tiny little joint in Newark Airport. And this guy walks in. I don't know who he is, with two other women. It's a small place. I'm sitting down. He's a couple of feet away from me, gets on his cell phone. Hey, baby, you know I love you. You know I love you, baby. You know you're coming. I'm saying, who is this jerk talking like this, and I'm right next to him? And we land over at the airport over there in South Africa. You got to wait online. We're going to the De Beers, waiting. They're going to take us out there. And this guy walks out, and he's kissing us. Who's this guy? I get over to the Sun City Hotel, and I see him walking around. I don't know who he is. Anyway, he was the keynote speaker. There was myself, the president of Botswana, and him. And he's the first guy. He shows a video of him on Oprah. Now remember, this is a long flight from New York to South Africa. And these are the top diamond dealers in the world. After the video, he says, what did I make this long flight for? You could see who I am and what I'm about. Bragging about it. So I see him finally, and I say hello to him at some point. He said, what do you do? I said, well, I was there talking about trends. He said, trends? You're going to tell me about trends? And he walked away from me. Arrogant. Tell you about trends? All you produced is rap crap, man. And you read this line of crap coming out from him after he gets caught allegedly raping a woman. Russell Simmons steps down from companies following new accusations from writer. Quote, this is a time of great transition. I don't want to be a distraction, so I'm removing myself from the business that I founded. As for me, I will step aside and commit myself, continuing my personal growth. Personal growth? You're an arrogant guy, and firsthand in the way you were so rude to me. You're going to tell me about trends? Hey, listen, man, you can come close to my work on trends. Hey, could you read Trends 2000? Hey, maybe trend tracking. How about the TrendsJournal? Well, maybe reading's too much for me because all you've been is a bad rap, bringing this country lower with your lousy music and attitude. Yeah. Spiritual learning and above all listening. You got it, man. Above all listening, because I will never forget how rude and crude you were to me. Russell, good to see you go. Hope you never come back. Bye-bye. Moving on to some other trends and more frauds. Hey, how about that Pope, huh? Hey, yeah, you remember the Pope. Went over to Myanmar. Rolled out that red carpet. Yeah, there he goes. Yeah, the vow of poverty. Pope on the red carpet. Again, I'm Catholic. I could say this. Can't call me anti-Catholic. But when I say something about Israel, of course, you could call me an anti-Semite because you're a hypocrite. But anyway, moving on to the Pope. But wouldn't say a word about the persecution of the Rohingya Muslims. Not a word. And so today, here is the whitewash from the Vatican. Vatican on defensive as Pope wraps up Myanmar visit. In his last full day in Myanmar, Pope Francis sought to pivot away from politics and the disappointment over his decision to avoid mentioning the persecution of Rohingya Muslims. His decision not to directly address one of the world's most acute humanitarian disasters cast a pall over what the Vatican sought to portray as a historic visit. Quote, nobody ever said Vatican diplomacy is infallible, the Vatican spokesman Greg Burke said. He said no one in the Vatican had second-guessed the Pope's decision to avoid mentioning the Rohingya or considered putting the plug on the visit. Quote, he's not afraid of minefields. No, he's not afraid of minefields. That's why he walks on a red carpet. Burke, how about a jerk? And how about the Pope, a joke? Another Obama. That's all he is, man. Another guy of BS. Hey, where are all you Obama people? Yep. Oh, they're talking about the slave trade over there now in Libya. That brought to you by Obama. Oh, yeah, we got to stop that Gaddafi. Remember that one? Oh, and now they have slave trade over there? But nobody's talking about that. Oh, and you remember Hillary Clinton when they found out Muammar Gaddafi was killed? We came, we saw, he died. So here's the way the toilet paper of record, the New York Times, writes about the hypocrisy going on now in Libya. Sale of migrants as slaves in Libya caused outrage in African Paris. And they go on to say how terrible this is, that the sale of Africans and migrants as slaves in North Africa, and thousands of them. And they write on, since the Arab Spring uprising of 2011 ended the brutal rule of Colonel Muammar Gaddafi, Libya's coast has become a hub for human trafficking. Brutal rule of Muammar Gaddafi. The place is destroyed now. Obama, the Nobel Peace of Crap Prize winner, launched that war with Hillary Clinton. We came, we saw, he died. She laughed when they found out that he was murdered, sodomized with swords. But same thing now, what's going on in Myanmar. You want to talk about, it's the worst humanitarian crisis going on outside of Yemen, another war, and you don't hear any blowback about this. Nothing. The liberals are silent. And me being a Catholic, and you go to Catholic church and they shake your hand, after the Lord's Prayer, peace be with you. Hey, Pope over here can't talk about peace at all. He's even afraid to mention the word. And just to tell you what little lying scum the toilet paper a record is, this is what they wrote in the editorials about the overthrow of Gaddafi in 2011, as we were covering this in detail in the Trends Journal. Colonel Muammar al-Gaddafi has long been a thug and a murderer who has never paid for his many crimes. Yep. He went on to say his extraordinary, astonishing military intervention and hoped for Gaddafi's imminent downfall. Yeah. You hoped for it, now you got it. And you little slime balls of the toilet paper a record, as you talk about the slaves in Libya, you don't talk about who caused it. You don't talk about who destroyed the country. Obama, Hillary Clinton, Samantha Power, Susan Rice. Oh, if only the women were in charge. Peace and love, huh? Yeah. Oh, and not to forget that other little slimer over there, Sarkozy in France. And no cojones Cameron over there in the UK. All murderers. But nobody talks about it. Oh, and Celente, don't raise your voice. And don't use words like scumbag or jerk-off. Be more proper. Be like an Obama. Be like a Cameron. Be like a Sarkozy. Be a little piece of crap that murders people, that lies, and that's a real 100% psychopath. And more people will like you. Don't forget to vote. And don't forget your new Trends Journal, History Before It Happens, the only magazine in the world where you're going to see tomorrow's trends today. History Before It Happens. This is Gerald Celente, and that's some of today's trends in the news.